This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Welcome to People Tech, the podcast of the HCM Technology Report. I'm Mark Pfeffer. My guest today is Dan Bartfield, the co-founder of Yello. Their talent acquisition platform helps customers deliver personalized experiences to every candidate, encourages collaboration among recruiters, and offers critical metrics along the way. We're going to talk about early stage recruiting, DEI, and technology's role in it all on this edition of People Tech. Dan, thanks for being here. To set the table, as it were, could you briefly tell me about Yello?
Sure. Yello empowers efficient and equitable hiring for all recruiters and early career candidates. How do we do that? We offer an end-to-end platform focused exclusively on early talent. Which includes workflows, interview scheduling, virtual and in-person event recruiting modules, as well as a DEI database with millions upon millions of candidates. And all of it's wrapped around our analytics and reporting.
So last year you acquired WayUp, and I'm curious about what was the thinking behind that?
At Yello, we saw a real need in the market to incorporate a true end-to-end platform. So not only software, but also candidates, as well as our clients have been demanding this or asking us this for a long time. They want to be able to go into one place, use the software, and as well as have access to millions and millions of candidates. What made WayUp even better and more special was the fact they had a focus in DEI. And that is the number one reason why companies today have early talent groups, is to help fill their DEI goals.
Have you seen growth? I mean, are employers becoming more attuned to it? Are more of them recognizing that this is something they have to address?
Definitely. So you've heard about it for years, Mark, but now companies really have to no longer just talk about it. They have to also walk the walk, as we say. With the murder of George Floyd, it has really brought the attention of diversity and DEI to the forefront. It's something at Yello and at WayUp we've been talking about for years and really pushing our clients towards. But now we're actually really seeing action.
Greetings from Evergreen Podcasts. We're rolling out a listener survey and we want to hear from you. The information in the survey will help us gather statistics and in turn make our shows more appealing to advertisers. I know most people don't like ads, but this is one of the only ways our shows make money and help keep their lights on. We promise it will only take a few minutes, but the impact on our podcasts will be tremendous. As a token of our appreciation, we'll randomly select one lucky participant each month to win an exclusive merchandise package from Evergreen Podcasts. Head to evergreenpodcast.com/listener survey to help a show and possibly get some free stuff for doing so. We can't thank you enough for the support. Now back to the show.
DEI is just, one challenge. I mean, it's a big challenge, but employers face a whole lot of challenges today. You've got employees leaving, and you don't have enough candidates, and, desire to increase the diversity of their pipelines. So what's all this look like on the ground?
I mean, you said it right there. Now, early talent's a little bit different than general recruiting. Early talent, there's no shortage of candidates applying to jobs. Where they run into issues is at the qualified candidates. So what the pandemic did is it went from more of a physical approach to recruiting to a virtual approach. And what we saw was when early talent candidates are supposed to be watching lectures or doing this, instead they're on their computers applying to jobs. So the influx was dramatic. They had a lot of candidates actually applying, but it wasn't always the right candidates. And our our clients really focus on candidate experience. So they had to make sure they had to get through all the candidates to make sure they give them a good experience. So it wasn't a lack of actual candidates applying. It was the lack of actual qualified candidates they were looking for. Then you throw diversity goals on top of that. and other aspects of what the pandemic created, that's where the real challenge happened for our clients.
I always wonder, going back to diversity, does technology really help diversity recruiting efforts at any stage, early talent, later talent?
I think it does. And when you look at Yello software, our job at Yello is not to replace the recruiter. Our job is to actually, hey, we're going to help you be more efficient in what you do. So we try to take away all that manual paper pushing, all that manual work, and throw automation in those aspects, and allowing the recruiter to actually do their job and actually recruit. And that's what they were hired for. And our data shows that over 80% of candidates accept the job. It's because of the relationship they had with the recruiter. So if the recruiter is too busy pushing paper, they're unable to actually connect and actually give the candidate with what the company's about and their company culture. As well as we're seeing software used when we talk about recruiting in a virtual sense. So anyone who knows early talent, before the pandemic, it was very physical. You had to go on campus, you had to do career fairs, you had to do different types of events. But with software today, you're able to expand your scope and go further because you can use different types of software to email, to do virtual events, and really find smaller universities and colleges you probably never would have gone to.
The pandemic seems to be easing a little bit, at least. On the other hand, there's a war starting in Europe. So if you look out over the rest of 2022, what do you think business is going to be like, and for Yello, and how are you going to address things?
Yeah, so Yello is sitting in a really good spot because we offer both virtual as well as physical recruiting options. So as we look at where the pandemic has gone and where it's kind of easing today, and we're going to another phase, we at Yello offer the ability to, if you want to go on campus, which by the way, the students want you to go on campus, we offer the modules you need to be successful there. But if you're still hesitant to go on campus or you want to expand your search, we also have the ability to go virtual with our DEI database. We believe at Yello, companies are going to be the most successful that offer a combination of both physical and virtual type recruiting process in order to meet your recruiting goals.
Dan, thanks very much.
Oh, thanks for having me, Mark. I had a great time.
My guest today has been Dan Bartfield, the co-founder of Yello, and this has been People Tech, the podcast of the HCM Technology Report. We're a publication of Recruiting Daily. We're also a part of Evergreen Podcasts. To see all of their programs, visit www.evergreenpodcasts.com. And to keep up with HR technology, visit the HCM Technology Report every day. We're the most trusted source of news in the HR tech industry. Find us at www.hcmtechnologyreport.com. I'm Mark Pfeffer.
Welcome to Don't Retire, Graduate, the podcast that asks you what you want to be when you grow up so you can graduate into retirement with a purpose and a passion, whether you're 25, 85, or any age in between. Gain actionable financial and mindset tips from your favorite authors, podcasters, and influencers to help you reach that exciting next chapter. Listen now and start building your path to financial freedom and reframing what retirement can mean to you. This is your host, Eric Brotman, reminding you, don't retire, graduate.
The world's best-known investor and Wall Street expert Warren Buffett once said, "Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway." Mr. Buffett's quote is remarkably accurate, but how many people would rather receive advice from him than someone simply guessing? Welcome to Buy, Hold, Sell, your single source for Wall Street knowledge and profitable guidance. Please join me, Todd Schoenberger, and fellow trader Tobin Smith, as well as host Veronica Dudo, for a podcast known to move the needle for investors. Tobin and I are seasoned Wall Street executives with deep investment experience, and we are prepared to share our advice to those who choose to listen. Download Buy, Hold, Sell today on the Evergreen Podcast Network or your favorite podcast channel.